Hello friends and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're making green beans with bacon. So what we're going to do is take about a pound of green beans, which we're going to go ahead and snap off the end pieces. If they have the little pointy parts on them, we want to get rid of that. And snap the actual beans down to a smaller size. We don't need these to be huge because if you get fresh ones, if you know how to snap them, they do come quite long sometimes. We don't want them totally long. We want to go ahead and just bring them down in size a bit, but you want to make sure that if there are any stringy parts on these or the pointy parts that are at the edges or stems or anything like that, you want to go ahead and get that off and then go through all of the beans and check them one by one and then break them up. This will take a couple minutes to do, but it's much better when you're eating these than to find out that there's a stem in there or other pieces that you don't really want. So make your way through all your beans as I'm doing in the video, and then when you're done it's going to look like you have your pile already there and you have some mess at the side you have to get rid of. And then once this is done, we're going to go ahead and set these aside, and then we're going to get a large skillet which we're going to put 6 pieces of bacon into. And when the 6 pieces of bacon are in here, we're going to cook them until they're completely done. We don't want them like so hard that when you pick it up it breaks. You want it just kind of crispy but totally cooked through, and that way it's gonna make it a little easier when you're cutting it, but at least you know your bacon is completely cooked. So cook it until you get to that point, and then we're gonna cut it, and as you can see in my pan, mine has cooked to that point. So when you turn this off, you're going to want to let it to go to the side, sit down, and cool off for a bit before you try to cut it, because you do not want to burn your fingers while you're doing this. And while it is cooling, we're going to go ahead and get a large pot ready. So what you're going to do with this pot is you're going to add anywhere from a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt into this. It's depending on how much you want salt in it. And then you're going to put your green beans in. You just want to make sure you have enough water in there to cover your green beans, because we're going to cook these for at least 5 minutes. So that way we can get them completely cooked through to start with. Once you've hit that 5-minute marker, you might want to test them just to see how they're doing. If you think they're done at the 5-minute marker, like mine are, then you drain the water out and then set them to the side. Now mind you, at this point you do want to cut up your bacon. It should have cooled already. So coming up, you're going to need a skillet, which we are going to add a tablespoon of olive oil and then a tablespoon of butter to this. And we're going to put it at medium heat. And what we're going to do is melt that butter, and then we're going to add in some more ingredients after the butter is melted and the pan is hot. So make sure you mix through the olive oil and the butter, get it completely incorporated into each other. And now at this point, we're going to add back in the green beans. Now stir these around a little bit to get the olive oil and butter into them. Make sure they're getting coated. And then to this we're going to add back in our bacon, which you should have cut up earlier once it cooled. And again, just stir it around, get it mixed in. Now once you get everything kind of mixed through and really coated with everything in the pan, you're going to add the equivalent of 6 cloves of garlic, which are minced or chopped up. That way, this is going to give it a lot of flavor. So you want to mix this through completely. Now, once everything is in your pan, you're going to want to let this saute for a little while. I give it about 5 minutes just so you can incorporate all the flavors together and let everything mix in. And when you're done, pretty much this is the whole deal of what you're doing here. You're going to have some flavorful beans that have meat in them, which give them an additional flavor, plus the garlic and the olive oil and the butter. And it just has the greatest taste. And I think you're going to like this because it just basically is a little bit different, but the bacon is actually working as a seasoning for the green beans, which a lot of people do this with ham. But this is a different alternative to an everyday thing you can do. So when you're done, it will look a lot like what you see in the pan right now. So stir it up, like I said, for at least the 5 minutes to make sure that everything is good. If you want to turn your heat down a little bit, if it seems it's singeing or like totally too hot for the green beans or whatever, you can turn it down a little. But the time that it's sauteing is necessary. I hope you liked this recipe. If you did, please like and subscribe, and check out my cookbook, which is available on Amazon and bookstores worldwide. And I hope to see you soon. Have a great day.